In chapter 91 of Jujutsu Kaisen, which was released on the 20th of January 2020, Satoru Gojo was sealed in the prison realm. And here we are, 1122 days later, and Satoru Gojo is still sealed in the prison realm. The plot of sealing Gojo was something Kenjaku had been planning since the very beginning of this story. In chapter 10, when we were first introduced to the main villain group of Jujutsu Kaisen, this plan to immobilize Gojo on the night of October 31st is first brought up. And this plan obviously succeeded. After a legendary performance that further cemented Gojo as the strongest individual in the entire world, his weaknesses were exposed. Akutami made it abundantly clear that despite having godlike physical strength, Satoru Gojo is very much human. And with humanity comes emotions and memories and regrets, all things that are privy to exploitation. After finally seeing the face of the man behind this scheme that forced him to use his domain expansion in the presence of countless innocent civilians, Gojo is completely distraught. His best friend, the source of so much pain that he had been covering with sand, the brother he loved and killed, was standing right in front of him. And it's at that very moment that the gate of the prison realm opens and Satoru Gojo was sealed. This development was painful for many fans, including myself. Gojo is my absolute favourite character in this story, and to have him shafted into a realm of darkness where not even time exists is tough to swallow. But the truth is, this development was absolutely necessary. Gojo was simply too powerful for the story Gege Akutami was trying to tell. His involvement in this narrative diminishes any real sense of tension or high stakes. So, Gege had to immobilize him, some way, somehow. And that is exactly what he did, which brought forth a very different Jujutsu Kaisen to the one we had been reading for the 90 chapters that preceded his sealing. The tone completely shifted, the atmosphere became much darker, the stakes became sky high, and our protagonists were left to suffer and live in constant danger. But I think the time has come for Gojo to return. A new threat has emerged. A being so powerful that even the user of the Limitless Curse technique who possesses the 6 eyes is potentially in danger. Sukuna is here, and he intends to wreak havoc upon the entire world. In chapter 145, Master Tengen revealed that an ancient sorcerer by the name of Angel possessed the ability to negate all curse techniques. Tengen also revealed that the prison realm has a front and a back. Kenjaku is in possession of the front, and Tengen was in possession of the back. It is said that once the prison realm has sealed something, the authority to open the realm rests with the bearer of the front gate, which essentially means only Kenjaku can free Gojo. And that's where Angel comes into the picture. With their ability to negate curse techniques, they can override Kenjaku's authority and free Gojo through the back of the prison realm. After a battle to the death, Yuki was presumably killed by Kenjaku. As it stands, it also seems like Master Tengen was killed by him as well. But one person did survive this battle, Yuji's big brother Choso, the man with easily the most incentive to see Kenjaku defeated than anybody else in the story. And not only did this brilliant character survive, he managed to attain the back gate of the prison realm. All he needs to do is encounter Angel, and Gojo can be released from the realm. Angel has already agreed to cooperating with our protagonists as long as they help kill the Fallen, who we know is none other than Sukuna. But therein lies the problem. Just as everything was going smoothly, Sukuna freed himself from the shackles of Yuji's body and possessed none other than Megumi, making him his vessel. And to make matters even more devastating, the latest chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen ends with a cliffhanger of Angel about to be eaten by Sukuna Gumi. And if that happens, everything will have been for nothing. It's a very scary time for our protagonists, but surely Gege isn't going to go through with this. I obviously could be wrong, but I highly doubt that Angel is going to bite the dust here. Maki and Takaba reacted to the scene of Yuji getting blasted through the building, and can obviously sense the immense amount of energy emanating from Sukuna. So I do think they could swoop in and prevent Angel from being killed. Whether they actually stand a chance against him, even just to buy some time, is questionable. to say the least. But I must repeat, I sincerely doubt that Angel is going to be killed here, because if they are killed, Satoru Gojo will probably never be freed, and I think we can all agree that would not be in the best interest of this story. His character arc is honestly just getting started. The moment of his sealing provided him with a much needed epiphany regarding his own existence. When Gojo looked at the eye of the prison realm and saw his own reflection, there was nothing but a void in the place of his face. Emptiness. Almost to say Gojo himself has no worth. Once sealed, he cannot prove to be useful to society as the strongest sorcerer, and beyond his power, what does he even have to offer? Who even is Gojo if not the strongest? At least, that's what he thinks about himself, that he is defined by his power. We, as the audience, know that this is far from the truth, and that he has loved ones that want to see him freed not just because he can save the day, but because they love him for who he is, and they miss him. It would be a tragic misstep for Akutami to just throw that all away by killing Angel. I am aware that there is a slight possibility that Kenjaku personally frees Gojo for whatever reason, using the front of the prison realm, but that is a thought that really isn't worth entertaining as things are right now. Kenjaku went to extreme lengths to seal Gojo. Seeing him free is the absolute last thing he wants. So as it stands, Angel is our best bet. Gojo can be freed by Choso coming into contact with Angel, and if there's any time that's going to happen, it's soon. The longer this takes, the more Sukuna will wreak havoc and kill people whilst in Megumi's body. The main reason I'm making this video now, despite this plan to free Gojo being something we've known about for quite a while, is because I firmly believe there is no better time than right now for Gojo to be freed. In Shibuya, the narrative demanded Gojo's immobilization. He was too powerful for the story's own good, and now the narrative demands Gojo's return. Sukuna is too powerful for any of our protagonists to survive without the help of Gojo. In chapter 117, when Megumi summoned Mahoraga, we received a flashback that showed a conversation between Gojo and Megumi. This gave us some important lore on the history of Jujutsu sorcerers, specifically the heads of the Gojo and Zenin families. In the past, the heads of both families fought to a stalemate, killing each other in a fight. They respectively possessed the Limitless Curse technique with the 6 eyes, just like Gojo, and the 10 Shadows Curse technique, just like Megumi. The flashback ended with Gojo saying, "You get what I'm trying to say, right?" Which can be interpreted in a few ways. Gojo is implying that Megumi has the potential to become as strong as he is, perhaps even stronger, and he's also implying that considering their family's historical conflict, they may one day oppose. For the longest time, I thought the prospect of Megumi versus Gojo was pretty bizarre. I mean, why would they fight? They love and respect each other. But Gege has crafted a narrative which could give us this unexpected matchup and make it make sense. Megumi vs Gojo and Sukuna vs Gojo as the same fight. I haven't done any power scaling for any series in a while, let alone JJK, but I do believe Sukuna in Megumi's body has the potential to be stronger than Gojo, which adds credence to my belief that Gojo will return soon. If Gojo is no longer the strongest, and there's someone out there who can stand against him, his presence in the story doesn't dramatically tip the scales in the favor of our protagonists, which allows Gege to continue telling the story he wishes to tell without Gojo's insane power holding him back. Gojo no longer being considered the strongest would also be a very interesting direction to take his character. The reason I believe Sukuna could be stronger than Gojo is because of that flashback I just spoke about. The stalemate between Gojo and Megumi's ancestors implies they have a similar ceiling for potential when it comes to power, but there's a crucial detail to consider. Despite being equal in power to Gojo's ancestor, Megumi's ancestor was incapable of taming Mahoraga. Megumi says in the same chapter, not a single user of the 10 Shadows technique has ever been able to exercise Mahoraga, and if anybody can make that happen, it's Sukuna. He wiped the floor with Mahoraga in Shibuya, defeating him with relatively low difficulty. This time, it will most likely be much tougher. In the latest chapter, we see that Nue, one of Megumi's Shikigami, is far more powerful when summoned by Sukuna, as he obviously has far more cursed energy to work with. This same principle will most likely be applied to Mahoraga. After After all, it makes no sense for Sukuna to defeat Mahoruga so easily if even Megumi's ancestor, who is implied to be on a similar level to Gojo, couldn't do it. Sukuna's version of Mahoruga would be a much tougher fight for him, but I still think he can make it happen. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Sukuna begins the exorcism ritual in the incoming chapters. With that under his belt, he would be a problem for Gojo right now, even without his remaining 5 fingers. And that's why if Gojo is ever going to be freed, it's right around the corner. I'd wager we see Gojo's return in the next 10 to 15 chapters, and Lord, do I pray I am right, because I really miss him. For Gojo, time in the prison realm will feel like a split second. The time between chapter 91, when he entered the prison realm, and whatever chapter he's released, would feel like he just blinked his eyes, like he's been sent to a dark future where everything has gone to shit, and I need to see how he receives the news of everything that's been going on in his absence. I know I do a fair bit of speculation in this video, and it isn't so much a theory as it is a discussion on future events, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Jujutsu Kaisen is in its most exciting phase since the story began. Everything is chaotic, and we truly don't know what to expect from what's coming. It's a thrilling and honestly pretty scary time to be a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. With that being said though guys, thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.